Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi has arrived now in Randfontein to meet with residents who have been forced to flee their homes due to illegal mining. Let's take you live to the scene and to my colleague Ziniko Mhlaba. Ziniko, take us through the Premier's visit there.
Well, a very good afternoon. Good morning, Michelle. Sorry, I was just addressing a guest who wanted to speak to us. So we are seeing, visuals. The Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi, he had just been briefed about 2 hours ago, but he has decided to come, visit the actual informal settlement called Sporong, which has been, the center of attention. This is the very same area where informal resident settlers, fled from, and now we are seeing him being accompanied by the Human Settlements MEC Tasneem Mutara, and of course the provincial spokesperson Elijah Mhlanga. So we are looking at the direction that we're moving in. It seems as if you're going to start somewhere towards the area where there are those unfinished houses as well. Mr. Elijah, we're seeing the Premier arrival here. Can you give us a sense of why the decision to start here and where are we going now?
Well, we needed to come first, see the area where the people are residing, the informal settlement, the Sporong informal settlement, so that we're able to establish the facts before we go address the people. So we just wanted to see the conditions here. Because one of the things we've heard is that this is private land. Okay,
so let's just get to the Premier. Premier, as we are walking towards you, we're not going to disturb your journey. The importance of being here to see for yourself the reality faced by those residents.
Thanks for the opportunity. I think we are just doing an inspection. Because we have to take some tough decisions. So it will be difficult to take those decisions if we didn't have a feel of the conditions, the challenges, and the difficulties that communities are facing. So we brought, what I can say is all the relevant departments: human settlement, social development, education, police, municipality, so that we finally take a decision. Because it's practically impossible to have people living in a community hall. It's also practically impossible to have the entire community being moved out to where they stay. So we have to take tough decisions, and we remain hopeful that our presence here will assist us to arrive at practical decisions. Because sometimes you take decisions that are not practical or realistic, and instead of solving a problem, you make it worse.
I believe, Premier, from what you've been briefed by the local municipality and the views of the residents, are you concerned about the lack of enforcing some of the decisions that were taken before? Because this is not the first incident that has taken place here in the West End in terms of the criminality that involves illegal mining operations, especially informal settlements such as this one.
We've just allowed lawlessness to prevail, and we've been saying it for quite some time. The level of lawlessness is it's unbearable. It has reached a boiling point, and we need to confront it. That is what I'm saying. The mere fact people are here illegally, they've invaded land, and the mere fact that we've got illegal mining here, and the mere fact that anyone can do as they wish, you can't have such a situation. So if we have to convene, we have to deal with this issue.
Okay, so this is the Premier just giving us a sense they're engaging some of the people who are doing recycling.
Zama and then king into the one. Oh, le tla sentse.
Re tlo sebetsa re tla recycling. Oh, le tla re dula mona Sporong mare re hlaya holo.
Oh. Okay, o seng le tswa go holo le tlemo. A le tshaba ke rotho re ba tshaba mona le.
Ba tshaba, ha nna ntho ka ba ga yetsa.
A zang ba le tshwenya ma.
Ha ba so ha batle motshiare, ba tla bosiu.
Oh, ba tla bosiu fela.
So
wena ka di 9 no le kae?
Ka di 9. Nna ntse ke le teng.
Is it? Hello, baby.
Hello, can you hear me? Uno bana ba thunya. Le di thunya tseo mona. Ne re sa robala ho hang bosiu. Ba kena door to door. ba thubela le di-shop ba bangata haholo maybe ba hlaba o Sikhangeli mo
Ntate o kae ngwana wa romela mme pele wena o le ka morao ntate banna molato ke eng banna banna le tshabela morao le sia mme banna ko re la wa ka fihla mo ba tlo sia mma wa tsaba wa sia wena awumsi nato mangala abantu abaningi angaka namhlanje babulala baza kanjani la wafika okay
sesifo sicela ukuthi misincede
nonizomnceda
yeah that's why sacela
nonizomnceda yabona sihamba namaphoyisa
okay
abona like amaphoyisa
okay
ne
yeah
sihamba namaphoyisa sifuna ukusebenzisana nabo ukuthi banigade
okay
nganifuna ukuhlala laba
asifuna ukuhlala akusafe ma bangena endlini bakubulala vele ma ungena imali ungane lutho sizama impilo la edodini
Okay, so Michelle, we're seeing there was a baby that was lying here, but what is happening currently is just the premier is just engaging some of the informal traders. What we're hearing is that he's usually, these are the residents that are actually based at the community hall itself. So they do come here every day in the morning to do their recycling business.
Emhlakeni? Yeah. No, khaya, phuma kuphi ekhaya? Northwest? Yeah. Northwest kuphi? Mafikeng? Ah, uyisitwana waneso.
Akakhulelwa yini?
Akakhulelwa yini? Uleze kayi?
Ukhulelwe komima.
Okay.
Komima.
Meimai? Kika meimai?
Ima uTozimba.
UTozimba. Oh, okay. Utlele mo?
Yokhale.
Ke khale? Wafika Northwest? Northwest ufitlene? 2018. Oh. Una le memo o rutlele wana?
Ake mitema uka.
Oh. Time ha uka mo lwena? O tlele time ngam. Okay. Ona ngotsi wena?
Ngingozwe nasiyo.
No, akire ke. Yeah, usebenza kang mo?
Sengimundamile.
Oh, wetsa recycling? And roughly ka letsatsi wetsa bokae? What depend?
Yeah.
O isa kae?
Tšhelete.
Ntho tsa go recycle di isa kae?
A di rekisa.
Wa di rekisa? Oh, ko kae?
Wetenere.
Okay. Le wena o robala ko lo ngotla mo seng?
Mo what depends. Sometimes ke robala mo, sometimes ke robala.
Robala ka ya robala.
Sengimamkhukung ya rona.
Oh, nomkhukung. So abasothunya the last 2 days with abara abasothunya. Bathunze ne?
Day before mabana.
Day before mabana. No robetse mo.
Ne ke robetse.
Na bathunya mang?
Ni sa thunyile na se ba fa le warning shot.
Oh, wetsa warning shot. Oh. No so my brother. No, re tlo mortoli thusa lona.
No, gona tse.
Ya, re tlo thusa lona. Wa go thala ne? No, re tlo thusa lena wane so. Yeah. Lebitso la ke ma premier of the province Panyaza. Queen.
So Premier, the Panyaza is currently engaging with some of the informal traders who are actually residing in the very same informal settlement, and the gentleman he's speaking to right now is the gentleman is originally from Zimbabwe but has been in the Northwest province for some time right now. What is shocking from what the gentleman, the Premier has just spoken to, is the fact that just a day before yesterday, there were some shots that were fired, and but fortunately those shots were not directed to anyone right now. We're seeing now the Provincial Commissioner of Police, General Mthombeni, is also just joining into this particular march as we're still trying to move away here. So this is also very important in terms of the team the Premier has come with right now, because we are seeing now law enforcement with the Provincial Commissioner leading that team, but also now we see the mayor of the Rand Western Municipality, Macheke. We've seen MSCs as well, such as Faith Mazibuko, responsible for Social Development, Tasneem Mutara, responsible of human settlement, but also we saw MEC Mamabulu, who's responsible for COGTA. So these are the people who really have to give that comprehensive and consolidated report to the residents in the next hour or so. So we'll try to see if we can be able to see some of the MECs right now. But we're just in the middle of nowhere right now. We're just seeing this briefing taking place here. So we understand from when we move here, we're going to then move towards those unfinished housing projects as well as we continue having these conversations with the stakeholders as well. So this is the situation where we are right now. So let's try and see if we can throw in our mic there to get a sense of the briefing.
I want to do from possibly tomorrow until the next week, Wednesday.
MEC Mazibuko, you're live on Newzroom Afrika.
Hi, Newzroom Afrika.
The importance of you being here so far and social issues, seeing kids being all at the community hall as well. How concerned are you about that?
It's very concerning, but as the department, we have intervened. We have provided even warm food to them. We've also provided mattresses. So we've also deployed social workers to profile them, just to check if they've got IDs, are they getting SASA grants, but over and above, checking the condition of children, because you can't have children staying in an area that is overpopulated. It tends to have other implications on them. So as the department, we're also intervening, especially those that are elderly, that are staying there. We're placing them in homes where they can be taken care of. Those that have got children, we are also taking them to shelters, whilst the municipality and the Department of Human Settlement is actually resolving their issues. So those interventions that we're doing, we believe they can be able to assist, but over and above, because there are no cooking facilities there, as the department, we're providing home food for them, breakfast, supper, and lunch, as and when they gradually are moving back into their communities or to places that they will have been allocated. That is when we'll continue attending to them up until the situation has normalized.
I mean, MEC, how concerned are you about the criminality and the impact criminal activities have on the family structures, on women and children as well? Some of the women we've been speaking to over the past 12 hours or so say they've been sexually assaulted, and those incidents happen in front of kids. How concerned about you, and what conversations are taking place between your colleagues responsible for law enforcement?
That is why as a department we're strengthening the family units, so that then each and every child does have a home and a proper family setup. But what is concerning, as and when we're following up on those cases of women who have been sexually molested, they seem not to be producing any case number. Remember, for us to also intervene, we have to have a case number to be able to get in psychosocial support. But we have made strides in ensuring that those women are assisted. Maybe some of them, they are afraid to go open cases, but through our victim-friendly rooms in the police station of Randfontein, we're actually assisting them to be able to open their cases. It is indeed a great concern that women live under difficult circumstances because of safety issues, because it is alleged these zamas also, as they go house to house, they actually harass and sexually molest some of these women. We believe the police must actually do their work. They must come in here and protect this community, and so that then we normalize and people are able to get back into living their normal life.
Let me say thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much. There we see that there is an impromptu briefing there between some of the committee members with the Premier alongside the police commissioner. We'll try to get closer so that we listen into this conversation.
No, angilakhi ithuba.
Ungaye police station ukhulume nephoyisa elikhulu.
Yeah. Manje into engifisa ukuyazi mnumzana.
Yes,
baba Mthombeni.
Yes, baba.
Yini into enisithembisa yona kule mpilo?
Angithi futhi uthi sisebenzisana. Futhi uthi angithi ngihlala la nani bahlale la.
Yeah.
And then amaphoyisa ezoba khona la. And amaphoyisa amabakhona lapho futhi uthi asebenzisana nomphakathi.
Yeah.
But inkinga ngizwile.
Yeah.
Indaba yokuthi
sometimes kunalabantu zamas. So sizenza ukuthi no i-team isebenze ngenkinga zamas.
Yeah.
But the other thing ukuthi nina njengomphakathi ifuza ukuthi sibone ukuthi indaba yokuphepha sisebenzisane nani njengamaphoyisa.
Yeah.
So ngize la no station commander nalo responsible for visible policy nalo uphenya amacala branch commander khona la. So sizoyenza ukuthi sisebenzisana ngithi yeah, and angithi ngizono premier yeah upremier usilethile lapha ukuthi sizovela lapha kumphakathi sizontshela ukuthi no hayi no sikhona inkinga zihlala zikhona emphakathini and then zifuna ukuthi thina nomphakathi maphoyisa nomphakathi sidile ngale nkinga. And mina nginethemba ukuthi we will be in a position to cancel them out.
Okay, indlu akuseyakhe nawe. Imacala. Abantu babalekile, waye wena ungabalekanga.
Ngizobaleka ngiyephi anginalo ikhaya.
Aseholweni ngithi.
Eholweni lapha kulesa siminya mina nginengane intombazana.
Oh, nentombazana.
Ngihlala phela lonke.
Wabhalisa indlu. Nangu ngicela ipasi lakho liphethe ko akucheckele. But wabhalisa kuphi indlu?
Ngibhalisile la ehousing since 2008.
2008.
Khanye bengiza isubsidy manje.
Khuluma nale ntombazana abona enhle kanjani? Khuluma naye. Uzokuchecka ukuthi ID na ngithi ayazi ID number yakhe ngekhanda.
Ngiyayazi.
Ayicheckele ukuthi waiting list yakho uyibhore indlu yakho yophuma phi nini so that at least wazi ukuthi uyophelela.
Ngiyacela please.
Yeah. Ufike nini la Esporo?
Sengina 7 years.
Oh, 7 years.
7
Uphume
years.
KZN.
Uphume KZN bengiye lapho ngoba ngithi ngisayozama ukuphumula. But mina ngikhulele la.
Ukhulele kuphi?
Ngizela 61.
La kuphi la mawuthi la kuphi?
La emhlakeni, la emhlakeni. Yeah. So into engiyicelayo please.
Ihlahla ne?
Ngicela indlu bakithi. Anginandlu.
Ayithala.
Anginandlu.
Ngilethele no.
Anginandlu.
Mnikeza imininingwane yakho, ubhalise nini, ID number yakho ikuphi, uza kucheckela akutshele.
Umntana manje ngiseparatile nomntanami. Uselokishini ngila. Umntana akazi ukuthi ngihlala kuphi. Ngicela indlu. Okuningi ngiyakubona ngicela ikhaya. I'm now 64 years of age. Ngizokhukhela emkhukhwini. Iyaphi le nkani? Ngizoshiya la nkani? Cela indlu please.
Okay, give me your ID details, ne?
All right, so this is a very painful and emotional moment between the Premier and this gentleman saying that he grew up here in Mohlakeng and arrived in this particular area specifically in the early 1960s. So he's saying right now, he's currently pleading with the Premier and the MEC responsible human settlements to really, provide him with the houses as well. So we're going to continue trying to speak to some of these MECs as we try to make our way to the informal settlement. So it seems as if you're no longer going to that unfinished housing project. We will be then going straight into the informal settlements. We're going to try to bring in the MEC responsible for housing, Tasneem Muntara, as he's going to be MEC. You're live on Newzroom Afrika. Thank you very much for your time. A very emotional moment you just saw that this gentleman is asking the Premier. He's saying that he arrived here in Mohlakeng in the 1960s. He has been to the community hall. He's saying he can't live there because he has a female child, pleading very emotionally for a house. What's your reaction to that and the reality that you are coming across now?
So look, we have a huge backlog in Gauteng. We have just over 1.3 million people who have registered on the housing system in Gauteng. Those who have verified to qualify are about 300,000. Our budget only allows us to build approximately 8,000 houses a year. So we come across these often every day. We do have a priority on the policy, which will prioritize people who registered for a house between 1996 and 1999. He says he registered in 2008. My beneficiary management team is on site. They'll take his details to verify. if it is indeed that he has registered, we can look at how to prioritize him. But we are, as a matter of policy, prioritizing people who registered between 1996 and 1999. And he says he registered in 2008.
Thank you very much for your time, for that clarity there. We're going to join in now this conversation that is taking place between the Commissioner and the members of the media here. This is Police Mthombeni.
The stabilization team is established since we had a challenge in terms of Beggersdal. I think that's public knowledge. And out of that, we are looking at the areas which are next to Beggersdal, the areas which is Mhlakeng, your Kagiso, your Western Oria, your Carltonville. So in terms of that stabilization team, we are really making an inroad. I'll say last week we were in Losberg, which is Western Oria. On the side of illegal mining, we engage those people who challenge us in terms of shooting. We managed to arrest one person and AK-47 possession of one suspect with over 220 ammunitions. So we are making inroads.
Are you giving them time, because they are complaining that they have lit their houses? Now they are being accommodated into a cramped hall. What are you promising them? Because they need to go back to their houses as soon as possible.
Yeah, I understand your question, but you're asking it to the wrong person, and that you should have asked the executive mayor. But I was with them on the briefing session. We'll go engage the community now by the hall with the premier, with the deputy executive mayor. They'll clearly, the city or the council will clearly indicate in terms of the movement. I can't put a movement. I can only give commitment in terms of deployment of the police officials.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
So that was the Provincial Commissioner of Police, Mthombeni, there, just giving us a sense of what is it that he will be sharing